one of you on all of our platforms. We're on 7 platforms every morning, and we're discussing gratitude this week because it was Thanksgiving week. So we want to, invite you. Hi, Jay. Good morning. Good morning, Jay. And we'd like to share in the knowledge of gratitude and what it does, not just as a good thing, okay? So gratitude is not just being nice. Gratitude actually works for you, okay? And it works biochemically in the brain, okay? So gratitude is part of a practice that you should do every day, okay? So it promotes internal alignment. Okay, what does that mean? Well, your subconscious is consistent with your conscious goals, okay? So you have to tell your subconscious what it is you're working on. Give it the subject matter. Okay, when you do that and you express gratitude for it, what you're doing is you're putting your brain in a very receptive state, okay? Because it fires serotonin, oxytocin, endorphins, and it turns your brain into a very conducive environment for better, or positivity, or more, or we can say abundance. Okay, what it does, it promotes things. Okay, it enhances synergy. So we were talking about, good morning, Sarah. Yesterday we were talking about synergy, and I think some people, they wrote a comment on our chat, and they were saying, oh, no, that's actually alignment. No, I'm gonna tell you the difference today. We're gonna get to that, but it is a little bit different when you have alignment versus synergy. Okay, we're gonna define that a little later on. So when you express gratitude, when you, let's say thank you, okay, for things, what happens is your negativity bias starts to quiet down. It starts to subside. What is negativity bias? Well, humans have negativity bias because of, our need to evolve, because, back in the day, we had to be alerted for threats in the brain. Okay, so we have a negativity bias. We tend to look at things as humans objectively and go, wait a minute, I don't know if there's a threat here. I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is legit. I don't know if this is true, that kind of thing. So we always have a negative slant to our thinking, okay? Now, because of this negativity bias, when you're grateful, okay, the brain starts to relax these things. The amygdala starts to quiet down a little bit. So the amygdala in your brain is what gives you a variation on a theme in negative thoughts. When you start thinking a negative thought, okay, you have 6 seconds to say stop when you think a negative thought. Otherwise, your amygdala, your fight or flight syndrome mechanism, will start to activate, and it'll start to give you variations on the negative theme. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? And all the what ifs are rooted in fear, or let's say negativity, because all negative emotions are rooted in fear. Okay, so that's how that works. And so because of that, right, human beings are always negative first. We default to negativity first. So people that are positive, okay, the most positive people that you know, okay, have overcome these things. Because in order to, let's say be more positive in life, you have to overcome that negativity bias. You have to kind of like, okay, I'm going to put that on the side, and we're going to choose optimism. Okay, we're going to try to lean towards positivity instead of always looking to find the negative. Okay, now gratitude works as a counter bias training system for this. Okay, so what am I talking about? Well, it's the countermeasure. So when you express gratitude, when you say thank you, you don't have to say it out loud. You could say it to yourself. But when you say thank you, it kind of quiets down the amygdala. It quiets down. And the way it quiets down is it fires hormones. So oxytocin, endorphins, okay, serotonin. And it starts to flood the brain with good chemicals, okay? And then you feel good, okay? When you feel good, what happens? Well, you're more optimistic. When you feel good, you're in a better mood. Okay, when you're not feeling good, you're more objectionable. Okay, when you're not feeling good, you're more critical. Okay, so gratitude actually cheers you up. Gratitude puts you in a good mood. Gratitude rewires your reticular activating system. Whoa, what's that? Your reticular activating system in your brainstem. Okay, so we have a built-in system that filters out what we're not focused on. Okay, the reticular activating system focuses on what you're focused on, the subject matter, okay, in your subconscious. So, and it could be from your conscious mind as well, but the conscious mind doesn't hold it for very long. Okay, so what am I talking about? Well, like when you go online and you see a red convertible, so to speak, okay, maybe it's a red convertible, and maybe it's a BMW, red convertible. And you've been thinking about this, right? And you think it's cool, and so you bookmarked it, and every once in a while you look at it. Okay, now the reticular activating system goes, oh, we're focused on that. And it will block out other cars. Okay, that's not to say that you won't see other cars. But guess what happens? It begins to serve up the red BMW convertible to you. And pretty soon you're going, wow, I never knew there were these many in my town. Like I keep seeing all these red BMW convertibles. I didn't know there were this many of them. Okay, so that's not a phenomenon. That's your reticular activating system. So people that are focused on money, let's say, okay, that's always a favorite topic amongst my clients, right? They always want to ask me how they can make more money or create more money or opportunities like that for money. So when you're focused on money, guess what? Money pops up. Opportunities for money pop up when that becomes the focus. Okay, but we as human beings change focus all the time. We change the focus. Okay, but there are some people, right? Those people who are very fond of money. They think that money is everything, and right? And they start making money. Okay. The drawback is that sometimes money is all they have. Okay. So you have to be balanced. So when you make a vision board, so I was kind of giving this girl free information. She works at the car dealership that I deal with for my leases. And I was trying to help her, right? And then she sends me a snapshot of her vision board, and it's all money. There's just a whole pile of $100 bills on her screensaver, on her lock screen. And I said, you're gonna wanna balance that out, okay? Because there's nothing worse than just having money when money is it, okay? When money is the thing, okay, the question becomes, what about health? Okay, I know people that have amassed a small fortune in life, but they're not healthy. And now in the second half of life, they have to pay it all to doctors and tests and HMOs and that kind of thing to get well. Because the first half of their life was off balance. It was go, 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 do like that, right? Run the body into the ground, just keep going. Eventually, you're going to pay the price. Balance is important, okay? It's not easy, right? But when you make a vision board, okay, for your reticular activating system, make it balanced. Okay, if you're a family person, put some pictures of your kids. Okay, then some money, maybe a house, whatever it is, okay, whatever you're interested in, but balance it out, not just money, okay? The other thing is you should focus on the people you love and things you love. Money will follow, okay? Money follows your purpose. It's not the other way around, okay? And if you are amongst the people that believe that, oh, when I get money, I'll be happy, okay? Happiness attracts money. Okay, happiness or your vibration or your mood attracts money. Okay, so when you're cheerful, when you're loving, okay, when you're expressing empathy, when you're expressing good vibes, basically, it starts to attract money. It's not the other way around. Okay? It's not like, oh, when I have the house, I'll be happy. And you hear that from people who are working towards something, right? They're working towards something, they're putting money away, right? And they go, oh, when I have this house, I'll be happy. Well, if you're not happy now, you're going to be unhappy in the brand new house. Okay. Daniel, money doesn't make you happy. Sometimes it makes you paranoid. It depends, Daniel. You have to have a balanced attitude about it. But yeah, money is not bad or anything. But money itself doesn't make you happy. Uh, yeah, because after a while, it's just another new thing. And I learned this too. I learned this a long time ago. Okay. Um, but you have to learn balance with money. So part of money is balance. Okay. You have to balance it out. Money is a tool, exactly, Daniel. Very good. Very good. But you have to balance. Okay. So money is one thing, it's a thing, it's not the thing. Okay. So when I was building my family of service companies, I got to the second company, the third company, and pretty soon there was a lot of money circulating, and sometimes it can throw off your thought process. So you need to be grounded, okay? You need to prepare, okay? In other words, if you have, let's say, if you can visualize properties, okay? You have the lots, right? Then you build the foundations. Okay, money represents the cement. Okay, when money starts coming in, you know where the money's going, and you pour one foundation, you pour the next foundation, the next foundation, the next foundation. The problem with people that don't plan, the problem with people that are not organized, is when they get a bunch of money, it clouds your thinking. And like Daniel said, it could make you paranoid. Okay, it could, because you don't know what to do with it. Okay, and this is why, if you're not on the appropriate vibration and something just happens to you, okay, because people come across those things, those situations. If you're not prepared for success and all of a sudden success just happens, okay, my success in the entertainment world happened in 1 week. On the third day, I saw it happen. But I had been planning for this for years. Okay. So when it actually started happening, I knew exactly what to do, and I already had a couple of companies by that time. And so I knew exactly what to do. Some people don't know what to do, and that's when they get into trouble. So some people win the lottery, right? And you hear this and you go, wow, like all of my problems would be solved if I won $20 million in a lottery. I'm here to tell you that if you don't know what to do with $20 million, if you don't know what to do with money, if you've never had a lot of money, $20 million is a hassle. Okay, it'll be a major hassle because the majority of those people are in debt, and they lose everything, plus they go into debt as a result of having something they're not prepared for. So gratitude helps you prepare. Gratitude helps you get in a good mindset. Okay, gratitude is part of mindset. A gratitude challenge or a gratitude practice, or when you challenge yourself with gratitude, it becomes a habit. Okay? Because first the conscious mind thinks, okay, I need to be grateful. It goes into your subconscious as a belief. The superconscious works off your subconscious. And I said this yesterday, and I think this is very important for people to hear. Okay, this is not about a value judgment. This is not about a moral judgment. Okay, I'm not telling you these things so that you can go and be a good person or a bad person. It's up to you. If you take this technology, what I'm teaching you, you can apply it to being a really good bad person or a really good person. It's up to you. Or a little bit of both. Balance. But what's interesting, okay, is that God only works off of what's in your subconscious. So the question becomes, what do you believe? What do you believe to be true? Okay, so when we're young, we get taught all kinds of things by well meaning friends and family. Okay, babysitters, grandparents, parents. Some of that information is outdated. So the majority of people just by time alone need to go into their subconscious and change their beliefs because you need to evolve. Human beings evolve. Society evolves. Times change, people change, everything changes. Right now we're going to see tons of people with their jobs becoming obsolete. What are they going to do? So the question is, are they planning now? Even planning right now is a little late, but it's better than what's coming in 2 years or maybe a year. But it's always important to plan and to think ahead. Okay? Now, when you're grateful, you think more clearly. It clears up your thinking. Okay? Because it gets rid of the negativity. It gets rid of anxiety. Okay? Try it. Try it. You know, when you're frustrated and you're thinking like different thoughts and your brain is just going and you want to stop it, just start saying thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. The other week, I think it was 2 weeks ago, I had to get home and I had to use the bathroom. And I was in my car and there was a lot of traffic. And I just started saying thank you and the urge went away. And then I tried it again last week. Same situation happened. I tried it again last week. It worked again last week. And like no sensation or anything. Just completely went away. In meditation, when you're doing your meditation, okay, because I talk a lot about affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. When you're doing your meditation, if you feel you're thinking too much, just say thank you over and over and over to yourself quietly. It'll solve the problem. Okay, so gratitude works on many things, okay? It shifts your central nervous system from survival to safety. Survival is where we get the negative bias from. The reason why we default to negativity all the time is survival, because we want to be aware of threats. We want to see the threats. We want to pull them out. We want to expose them, because then we become aware, then we can protect ourselves. Okay, this is biological wiring, hardwiring in the brain. Your entire system is built on survival. So if there's a tiger in the bushes, okay, your system is ready to alert you and have you run. It's the fight or flight syndrome. Okay. But when you express gratitude, you go from survival to safety. How does that work? It's the serotonin. It's the oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Okay. It's the endorphins, the feel-good hormones. It calms you. It relaxes you. And this is why they say when you get quiet in here, good things come. Why is that? Because it's the absence of anxiety. It's the absence of nervousness. It's the absence of irritability. It's the absence of anger. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing is ever wrong with you. These things have been added to you, or there's physical conditions that have made you feel these things. Happiness is a choice. You choose to be happy. Okay? You make a conscious decision to be happy. And then the emotion comes and follows. Okay, if you're too distracted to think that you need to be happy or to make that decision to be happy, then you need to look at your distractions. This is why Gautama Buddha said he said the man, but it's man or woman. He said the man who sees life as an illusion escapes suffering. It's all the physical stuff. You know, the physical labels, the library, right? The sporting arena, right? The football game. It's all these exterior things that we begin to identify with. Once you free yourself, because you have to free yourself, it's you, okay? You're being distracted into it, yes, but you need to free yourself. But you can't free yourself if you don't see the illusion. Everything out here is man-made. Everything out here is nature and man-made, made from someone else's in here. And if they can, you can. But when you attach to it, when you say, I am that, I am the doctor, I am the attorney, I am the race car driver, I am the bus driver, I am the fisherman. Because you're not the label, you're not the profession, you're the energy that lives in here. You're not your body, you're not your name. You are this spirit having a physical existence. You've been given a body. The body is here to serve you. That's why you take care of it. You're going to be in here for a long time. But when you look out here, that's why Jesus Christ said the kingdom is within. Happy Sunday. The kingdom is within. Jesus told you that the kingdom was within, so you don't go without. So you don't look out here. So you don't look out here for the solutions. Okay? The drugs are out here. Right? The food is out here. The vices are out here. They're not in here. The solutions are in here. But when you get trapped in the illusions, you begin to identify with the illusion. That promotes mental suffering. Because you get lost. Because this gets lost. And some people have no idea who they are. They have no idea. Because they've been brainwashed into believing they're that, or they're this, or they're that, or they're this, or they're a customer, or they're a patron, or they're this or that. You're in here. And this belongs to God. There's a separation between the body and the spirit. The body is anchored into the physical world. The spirit belongs to God. The spirit is in here. So in the Bible, when it says we are all one, it's talking about the universal law of one. Everything is connected. Everything is connected through awareness. We are all aware. We are all awareness. We are all consciousness. When you observe labels, you go, okay, this is religious here. This is spiritual here. This is, work over here. This is degrees over here. This is college here. This is education here. And people begin to identify with these things and titles and professions. But that's not who you are. So gratitude helps to separate these things. Gratitude helps to separate so that you understand the body and the spirit. You're going to feel the Spirit. When you meditate, you will feel the Spirit. You will feel the expansiveness of consciousness. It's not religion, it has no label. It's in the temple. Okay, the kingdom within. All of your answers are in the kingdom. And this is why when you think about something long enough, right, you get the answer. Sometimes it takes a while. It takes a few days sometimes. But you're thinking, in your spare time, you're wondering about something. All of a sudden you get the answer. It's your subconscious. Your subconscious is your book of life. Your subconscious has stored everything you've ever done, ever said, ever thought. And your subconscious can answer you. Just ask the question. Ask the question, what should I do about this job? What should I do about this thing? What should I do about this? Yes or no? What should I answer? And wait for the answer. But if you're too distracted out here, if you're pulled into the movie, if you're pulled into the politics, if you're pulled into whatever's going on, now you've engaged. You've engaged. And when you engage, you join. These are your joiners. Okay, you see something, all of a sudden, you engage, now you join. And normally it starts with something that you see. So you get distracted. You get distracted from in here to there, to there, to there. It could be the new car, it could be the new house, it could be the new job, it could be the new person, it could be the new spouse, the new girlfriend, the new boyfriend. But whatever it is, your attention goes there. When your attention goes there, you join. Energetically, you join. Everything is energy in the universe. So what gratitude does is it separates the illusion from reality. And now you come in here, and guess what happens? You start attracting who you are. Because gratitude is the great multiplier. Gratitude clears the way so that your blessings can come. When you're grateful, you don't have to express it with your voice. You can just think it. You know, a good gratitude practice is just to look at things and say thank you. Look at everything around you and say thank you. If you need things to be thankful about, look at every little thing and name it and say thank you. When I'm in the shower in the morning, I always say thank you for the water. You know how many people don't have a shower in the world? There's 8 billion of us. If you have a shower, you are among the minority. When you start to feel grateful, it's very powerful. Gratitude is very, very powerful. It's a strength, just like love is a strength. Love is a strength. People are painting love up to be a weakness. I'm not talking about the Valentine's Day love. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the Hallmark Channel. I'm talking about love. Love is a strength. Love is a power. You were born in love of love, and then life happened. But you have control over it. You have control over what you allow to happen. And how does this, when you give gratitude and you move from, you move from the negative bias over to the positive side, what happens? Everything gets better. Because in survival mode, right, or survival state, if you want to call it that, because that's what the negativity bias, that's the negativity bias. Everything is reactive, and anxious, okay, defensive. So you have all of the negative emotions. What is the positive side when you start giving gratitude? What happens? Well, you get that calmness, and now you're calm but alert. You're not vulnerable. You're calm because the negative emotions have been removed. You're optimistic instead of pessimistic. Pessimistic, always expecting the worst thing. What's the worst thing that could happen? Some people just worry about the worst thing that could happen, right? The worst possible scenario. That's like praying for something bad to happen. Don't pray for bad things to happen. Don't pray for bad things. Don't worry. There was a time when someone told me that, years and years and years, over 30 years ago, somebody told me that. And I said, no, you don't understand. I'm responsible. I don't know how I'm going to come up with the money for that by the end of the month. And she said, don't worry about it. And I said, that's easy for you to say. I am responsible. So when you hear comments like that, just know it's the left brain. Just know it's the ego talking. Just know it's the logic speaking from the left brain. I was telling Jay this morning when we were talking that if you believe in God, right, that's the right hemisphere of your brain. The superconscious, conscious, subconscious, superconscious. The superconscious works off of whatever is in your subconscious. The superconscious is what starts to open the doors as you take the steps towards it. It brings the right people in. Why? Because we're all connected. This is where you get those coincidences from. I always use the ABC company as the thing. So you want to work for the ABC company or XYZ company, it doesn't matter. You start thinking about it. It's a conscious thought. I want to work at the XYZ company. Now, in repetition, thinking about it over and over, it goes into the subconscious as a belief, because now the subconscious believes that you want to work on that. And the subconscious goes, well, maybe you should call them and see if they have openings. Maybe you should write to them. Maybe you should put your resume together, update your resume. Maybe you should. What does the superconscious do? God or the superconscious, whatever label you want to put there. You want to say consciousness, you want to say universe, you want to say God, you want to say Jesus Christ. It's all in the superconscious category. I'm not here to sway your beliefs. You believe as you wish. But the superconscious looks at the belief in the subconscious and goes, all right, now I'm going to give you intuitive thought concerning the belief. As you take the steps towards the belief or the goal, I'm going to open the doors for you. I'm going to bring the right people into play. So after thinking about this for a couple of weeks, you go to the gym, you're at the gym, you meet this guy, he's standing by the machines, you start talking. And then the question comes up, so what do you do? Oh, I'm an HR person. Oh, where do you work? XYZ company. You see? And what do we think? It's a coincidence. Oh, I was just thinking about the XYZ company. I wanted to work there. Oh, come down and fill out an application. We have some openings. And in a few weeks, you're working at XYZ company after a series of all of these coincidences. Now, if you believe in God, okay, I believe in God. Everything I've done has been a result of me relying on God. But if you believe in God, then everything is God. Nothing is a coincidence. If you don't believe in God, then okay, we're just living a random thing. We're just on this random planet, speeding through the galaxy at a random speed. There's no order to anything. And we'll just take what comes. But some people live like that. Some people live like that. And they go, well, let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. They don't plan. They're not working off of their desires. Some people desire a better life, but then they get stuck in the left brain because they're trying to figure out how. The how is God's job. All day long, 24/7, 365. God works the how. And that's why it was when you were at the gym talking to the guy next to the machine, somebody you never thought would ever be working at XYZ company, let alone in HR, and then boom, there you go. Now you have a job. Life happens for you like this. Life happens through you. Okay? Through you. From God, through you. Because you are the microcosm of the macrocosm. You are the smaller unit of energy of the larger version of energy, or consciousness, or God. Everything is energy in the universe. Everything. The blades of grass outside in the park are intelligent. Every single one of them. Everything has an intelligence. Plants, trees speak to each other. They don't speak our language, but they have a language. They communicate through the roots. Certain bushes that bear fruit turn poisonous when they're threatened, when their species is threatened. And then when their species has come back in better numbers or greater numbers, then they turn back edible again. Then animals and people can eat them again. Everything is intelligent. So in addition to, changing from that negativity bias to positivity bias with gratitude, okay? Because gratitude recalibrates the central nervous system. So recalibration means it changes it from negative to positive. Now you're more confident, because confident is the absence of these negative vibrations, these negative emotions. Because when your mind is cluttered with fear, okay, and fear-based emotions are all the negative emotions: guilt, shame, fear, doubt, all of it. Right? And you've probably heard that doubt and fear are the only things that keep you from manifestation. Because all the negative emotions are rooted in fear. Doubt is one of them. But what that means is you work against yourself when you're doubting. So let's say you put forth a prayer. Let's say you pray for something. Let's say you intend something. Let's say you wish for something. It's all the same thing. You're saying, I desire that, whatever that is. It could be wellness. It could be a new jacket. It could be love. It could be a job, whatever it is. In the back of your mind, if you're saying, yeah, okay, I desire that, but I probably won't get it. Somebody else will beat me to it. You're pessimistic like that. It cannot happen. Because it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. One is saying, okay, we're going to go for this. The other one's going to say, nah, you won't get it. You're not going to get it. Now you have two sides working against each other. One is trying to move, the other one is holding them back. Trying to move, pulling them back. But what is it really? It's your subconscious. Can you fix it? Yeah, sure. Start with an affirmation. I am so happy and grateful now that I'm confident. Thank you. You can program your subconscious like you program a computer. It's very simple. Okay, repetition. Write it every morning when your brain is in theta state, when you're fully relaxed, before you do anything else. Write it down. Speak it out loud right before you go to bed at night, before you turn off the light, before you turn off the lights. Stefania, preach, you love it. Thank you. Thank you. Now, when you do this in repetition, in about 2 weeks, okay, now you have to do it every day. Is that difficult? What's more difficult, writing the affirmation or living the life you're living now with the things that you don't want? So you write it out, right? In 2 weeks, you're going to feel the shift, okay? And the shift kind of feels like you're leaning more to doing it on your own. That you don't have to remind yourself to do it, that it kind of like, you're getting into the habit of it. Okay, it takes 66 days to change a habit, to install a new habit. 66 days, 2 months, at least 2 months. But in 2 weeks, you'll feel the shift, right? And in 2 weeks, you'll go, oh, this is getting easier. It's like a habit. I know exactly what I'm going to do. When I first open my eyes, I'm going to reach for my tablet, right? Like this. Here, I keep one of my expired ones here. I have like 12 of these in storage, a whole stack in storage. These are affirmations. Okay, this is not journaling. These are instructions to your subconscious. Okay. I did it in 2 months. I did it for 2 months in 2007. And I said, if this doesn't work, I'm never, ever, ever doing it, because I'm like that. I'm like that. I will try something. If it doesn't work, I will never do it again, because it's a waste of time. And my time is my life, and my time is very valuable. So I did it for 2 months. I was amazed when I went back and looked at the things that I wrote that happened. Not everything happened, but the majority of everything happened. And that was good enough for me. So since 2007, I've been writing affirmations almost every day. Sometimes I forget, sometimes I get busy. When I do that, I write it twice. I make up for it because it's going in your subconscious. Okay, your subconscious, I point here. This is not your subconscious. This is the right hemisphere of your brain. But your subconscious is a culmination of all of your senses. Okay, this is why when you're near a restaurant or something, right? Or you're driving by a restaurant and you smell something, it takes you back to grandma's house. You're in the shopping center, you hear some music, takes you back to elementary school. Now, if you didn't have a subconscious, if you didn't remember all of that, none of that would happen. Nothing would remind you of anything because you wouldn't have a memory of it. So your subconscious is your book of life. Power and Grace. I record them on my smartwatch and listen to them over and over. Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that out, Power and Grace. Thank you. Yeah, Stefania, most people are unaware. That's why I'm doing this. I'm doing this to help. I'm not here to sell anybody anything. There's no sales pitch at the end of this, okay? But make notes. Bring your tablet, make notes. So here's the thing, Power and Grace, I'm glad you brought that up. Power and Grace said, I record them on my smartwatch and listen to them over and over. Okay, so that's one of the smartest things you can do, okay? So here's the thing about that, okay? Your subconscious, okay, your book of life, it responds to your image and your voice over everything else. So in Hawaii, I have a trade name called Self-Formations, and I'll give you the formula. You can do it on your own. You don't need me. Self-formation is an affirmation that you write out yourself, okay? So you make it up, whatever, okay? It should be expressed in the now, and it should not contain any negative words. Don't do an affirmation that says, I will not smoke anymore, because not is not recognized by God or your subconscious. So it says, I will smoke anymore, and you'll keep smoking, okay? So there's a little information there. But then record it in your voice on your smartphone. So brother over here does it on his watch, okay? Stefania, has my life changed? Oh, yeah, you can plug my name into a browser. You can look at my companies and my different occupations that I've had over the years. Most of them are in public. So yeah, I'm a public figure in Hawaii. You can check. I don't want to talk about me so much. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, you can look me up. Anyway. So you record them in your voice and you listen to them over and over, because your subconscious responds to your voice over everybody else, your image over everybody else. Okay, so stand in front of your bathroom mirror and get your affirmations and read them out loud and look yourself in the eye. Okay? It works faster than anything. So I'm glad, let us know what kind of affirmation. Okay, so it depends on what you want, Harriet. What are you trying to bring into your life? So Power and Grace said that he records it onto his smartwatch, and that's a terrific thing to do. So do that. Record it in your affirmations. So what I have my clients do, I just had one of my clients do it yesterday. I had her do 15, record 15 of them, because I have my clients do 100 positive I am affirmations. So I am grateful, I am kind, I am generous, I am, right? And I had her do 15 of them and record it and listen to the top 15 out of the 100 and listen to it every day. If you do that, it's going to go into your subconscious very quickly, okay? And you will be shocked at the results. You will be shocked at the results. Okay, in the Bible, when it says God knows your heart, it's talking about your subconscious. God knows your subconscious. And God works off of that. So, if you're narrow-minded, okay, if you're like this, okay, it's important to go like this, okay? It's important to expand your thinking. Because if you don't believe something, you're going to lock yourself in like this, and you're going to lock everything else out. Yes, I am, Stefania. Yes, I am. Quite. And you can look up my companies. They're all online. Let's see. Yeah, thank you, Jay. That's my name right there. You can put me in a browser or AI, anything. Doesn't matter. So I'm here to help you guys. I'm not here to talk about me and my accomplishments. So here's what will work for you, okay? Talk to yourself in the mirror. Encourage yourself in the mirror. I know it's gonna feel crazy, okay? But the people who are not able to look themselves in the eye in the mirror do not like themselves. And you know what? That's the majority of us. Why is it? Why is that? It's because we remember what we did wrong in life. Okay, and you know that negativity bias I've been talking about today? Okay, that's part of it. Okay, because when we look at ourselves in the mirror, what are we doing? We're critiquing ourselves. Oh, you look fat. Oh, you look old. You look whatever. Oh, your dress sucks. Oh, your shirt's whatever, right? Okay? Well, that's a geeky shirt or whatever it is. But you're looking for the bad parts about yourself. Why? Because you are naturally inclined to negativity bias. Your therapist is not going to tell you this. Okay? They're not going to tell you this in Sunday school. They're not going to tell you that the reason Jesus sits at the right hand of the Father is because it symbolizes the right hemisphere of the brain, and that you have to circumvent, get around, okay, push down the ego that is on the left logic side of the brain, the left hemisphere of the brain. When you can do that and you surrender, it talks about surrender in the Bible. That's what it's talking about, surrendering the ego. Because the ego always thinks it knows best. The journey of Moses, okay, I know it's a story. You probably heard the story, right? They're going in circles in the desert for 40 years, right? Okay, it's the journey from the left hemisphere to the right hemisphere of the brain. It's the journey from ego, okay, and thinking you know best, to what God has planned for you and surrendering to God. Nice, Stefania. Very good. Speaking to yourself nicely is very important. The ego is not bad, but you need to surrender the ego. You need to be able to circumvent the ego, to get around the ego. Okay, you need to subdue the ego. You need to have control over the ego, because the ego will get control over you if you don't. And that's another thing about your mind. If you don't control your mind will control you. If you don't apply your mind to something, your mind will attack you. And that's why when you don't have anything to do, when you have free time, when you're just kind of enjoying yourself, and all of a sudden you get that one thought. And if you don't stop it in 6 seconds, guess what? The amygdala goes, okay, here's some more thoughts about that. And then they're all going to be negative. What if this? What if that? What if this? What if this? What if this? And all the what ifs are going to be rooted in fear. Negativity, the negativity bias. Okay? And people are unaware, unless maybe they go to college or study psychology or something, that this is. Okay, but this is for a reason. It's so that humans survive. It's so that the species survives. But unless you're living in a jungle, unless you need to be warned by, tigers in the bushes or stuff like that, if you're living in a city or in a suburb or in a community, where there is no natural threats, then you need to get around the negativity bias, because it will hurt you. It will hold you back. It will start to hold you back in life. Especially figuring out how to do something. You don't need to know how. The how is God's job. Let God do the how. Whether you believe in God, universe, source, whatever you call it, creator, higher self, Jesus Christ, Allah, whatever you call it, allow that to do your how. When I started my first company, I didn't know how. I just did it. When I started my second company, did I know how? No, not at all. I just did it. Then I started my record label. Did I know how? No, I just did it. Then my consultant firm. Did I know how? No, I just did it. And there's records of all of it online, on Facebook. VMAC Consultants, all the companies are there on Facebook. Here for You Life Coaching, all of it. So there's a digital record of everything. And the reason why there's a digital record of everything is because you can do it too. Okay? Not everybody puts up all their work. I don't care. I don't care if people judge me on my work. But my whole adult life has been based on the fact, because I'm a teacher, it's been based on the fact that if I can, you can. And I'm going to show you, because talk is cheap. I know teachers that talk. They talk, they criticize their students, they put them down, they use negatives when they teach. They don't know how to teach. They're teaching for ego. They're teaching out of the left brain, out of their logic. I inspire my students. I expand their thinking. I take them to new intellectual heights. because it's about what you think in here. It's about what you imagine in here. Imagination, creativity, God, all belong to the right hemisphere of the brain. So you became a new person version. I've become several new people. I've become, yeah. A long time ago, I had a good mentor when I was 13. I had a good mentor since I was 13, and it didn't. I teach. I'm a life coach. I'm an executive coach. I teach executives, business people. I also teach voice. I'm a voice teacher. Been a voice teacher for a long time. Um, thank you, thank you, Mama Shet. So, so what I'm really saying is that you can have, do, or be anything, anything you put your mind to. If I can, you can. Okay, you're just walking in on this chapter right now. Okay, this is my easy chapter. Okay, the work was done years and years and years ago. But as you see, I still do my affirmations. I still do my meditation. This morning I did 45 minutes of meditation. Affirmation, meditation, vocalization, visualization. I do vocalization during the day with my clients. I have a client in about 3 minutes, so I got to get going pretty soon. But just do affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. If you need to learn this stuff, very easy. Put my name in AI or any browser and put teaching method. And it will bring up the teaching method. Or you can go to the website. It's hereforyoulifecoaching.com. Okay, or you can write to me on any platform that you're on right now, and I will answer your DM or your message. So yeah, that's another thing. So now we've been doing gratitude the entire week, and thank you, Jay. We've been doing gratitude the entire week because it's Thanksgiving week. So I needed to also explain the difference between internal alignment and internal cooperation. Okay, because I talk a lot about the synergy of the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. The synergy between the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious, when you have these three states of awareness working in synergy because they're all in you, okay, when you have them working in synergy, you have internal cooperation. Congruency is a little bit different, okay? So I think Mary was asking about, or made a comment about, yeah, you can get to talk to me. Just message me. Jay, you can give him my email. You can email me as well. So congruency is internal alignment. Synergy is internal cooperation. Okay, there's a difference. I talk a lot about the synergy of it, okay? But the congruency means that whatever your manifestation target is, that you are in alignment so that everything is conducive to your goal, to what it is you want to manifest. You can't work against yourself, in other words. So if you say that you want a new car, for example, you can't have in the back of your mind, you can't be saying, well, I don't think it's going to happen, okay? Because it will take you away from it. So you have to be all in. Congruency, internal alignment means that all of you, okay, not just part of you, but all of you agrees with what you're doing. That's congruency. Synergistically speaking, internal cooperation is when you visualize success, okay, synergy, when you feel emotionally inspired, that's your heart, okay, mind, heart, and then body, taking a positive action synergistically. So synergistically with the conscious, subconscious, superconscious, they all have to work together synergistically. And that equals internal cooperation, okay? And I talk about that more than I talk about congruency. But yeah, you need to be congruent too. Okay, so thank you, Sarah. Oh, you missed yesterday. Okay. Yes, I will see you tomorrow. So we have to say goodbye right now, but we'll be here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., same time, Hawaii time. Okay? And yeah, we will see you tomorrow.